Welcome to Historic Skylands. In the second chapter of the secret strategy behind U.S. global dominance, we dive deeper into the network of influence, power, and precision that has allowed the United States to maintain its position as the world's leading superpower for decades, often without the public fully realizing the scale of its outreach. While military strength and technology are important pieces of the puzzle, the real foundation of American dominance lies in a silent system built on global economic leverage, strategic alliances, intelligence partnerships, and cultural influence that subtly guide world affairs. At the heart of U.S. influence is the dominance of the U.S. dollar, not merely as a currency, but as the backbone of worldwide trade, banking, and commodities markets. Because most global transactions from oil to international loans are conducted in dollars, nations must keep large reserves of the currency, giving the U.S. incredible financial leverage. Through institutions like the IMF and World Bank, Washington can guide policies in developing countries, providing loans but quietly shaping governments, economies, and policies to align with American interests. This financial reach, combined with sanctions, allows the U.S. to pressure any country without firing a bullet, as seen in cases like Iran, Russia, and North Korea, where sanctions strangled economies, weakened governments, and enforced compliance by global networks. Beyond money, the military architecture the U.S. has built is unparalleled. More than 750 overseas bases act as what enabling swift deployment of forces and instant intelligence gathering. These bases are not random. They sit near key choke points, resources, and Japan and South Korea to monitor China and North Korea, the Persian Gulf to control oil routes, Germany and Poland to check Russia, and dozens more across Africa to oversee China's growing presence. This global grid ensures that wherever a crisis erupts, America can appear within hours, projecting power and stabilizing regions under its vision. Yet, power is not only about weapons, it is also about alliances. NATO remains the strongest military alliance in history, with Article 5 guaranteeing collective defense. This means an attack on one is an attack on all, binding Europe to U.S. leadership in Asia. Japan, South Korea, Australia, and the Philippines sit as key partners, shaping the balance of power against China. Through these alliances, Washington does not need to act alone. It leads coalitions, making its influence appear global and cooperative rather than unilateral. Intelligence networks like the Five Eyes combine the US, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand share unimaginable levels of surveillance and data, giving America deep insight into world communications, trade, and threats. These intelligence links quietly guide policy choices, identify adversaries, and provide strategic advantage long before events unfold. Meanwhile, soft power America's most underestimated weapon penetrates every corner of the planet. Hollywood, Netflix, fast food brands, tech giants, universities, and fashion are more than entertainment. They are cultural ambassadors, shaping global identity. American movies define a heroic narrative. American tech controls communication. American degrees symbolize prestige. And American music floods global streets. All of this forms a psychological presence that convinces people worldwide that the American lifestyle is modern, powerful, and desirable. This cultural footprint builds acceptance of U.S. influence without force. Technology also fuels dominance. Silicon Valley companies like Google, Apple, Meta, Amazon, and Microsoft handle global data, shaping how information flows and who controls it. They're supported by U.S. leadership in cyberspace warfare, guiding digital strategy, defense systems, and satellite communications. America's control of semiconductor and AI development ensures that it stays a generation ahead of competitors, building weapons, tools, and communication systems that others must rely on. Another hidden layer of strategy lies in how the U.S. manages regional conflicts. Instead of direct occupation, Washington often supports local partners to maintain balance, providing weapons, training, and intelligence instead of sending full armies. This keeps American influence strong while minimizing casualties and financial costs. By shaping outcomes indirectly, the U.S. remains central in geopolitics without appearing intrusive. Meanwhile, the U.S. invests heavily in intelligence-led diplomacy. Quiet negotiations, backdoor deals, and pressure campaigns help prevent rivals from uniting. When two nations grow too close, U.S. diplomacy finds ways to separate them. When a region grows unstable, Washington steps in as a mediator, earning influence in return. This is visible in the Middle East, where U.S. policy often balances power among rivals to ensure no single nation can dominate independently. In Europe, NATO provides security, while the EU remains economically tied to American markets. In Asia, the U.S. supports smaller countries, wary of China, forming a ring of partnerships that keep Beijing from expanding unchecked. The United States also practices energy strategy. For decades, controlling global oil routes meant controlling global power. Even though renewable energy is rising, oil still runs the world. U.S. Navy fleets safeguard shipping lanes like the Strait of Hormuz and the South China Sea, ensuring energy flows through channels friendly to American allies. Any disruption gives the U.S. a reason to intervene, reinforcing its role as global security provider. Private American companies also play surprising roles in maintaining dominance. Defense contractors like Lockheed Martin, Raytheon, and Northrop Grumman produce advanced weapons sold to allies worldwide, creating dependence on U.S. technology. This means countries relying on American aircraft, missiles, and cyber systems must maintain political alignment to keep access to upgrades and spare parts. Similarly, American tech giants protect US influence by controlling operating systems, cloud networks, and social platforms used globally. This deep integration makes it difficult for countries to separate from the U.S. system, even if they want to. Washington also protects its dominance by preventing rivals from uniting. Throughout modern history, U.S. policy has isolated powerful adversaries or turned them against one another. During the Cold War, America split China from the Soviet Union. Today, it attempts to counter China-Russia cooperation through diplomatic pressure, military partnerships, and economic incentives for nations in their regions. Whenever necessary, the U.S. adapts its friendships, prioritizing interests over sentiment. Nations once seen as rivals, like Vietnam or Saudi Arabia, become partners when strategic value changes. The U.S. does not seek permanent enemies. It seeks permanent advantage. That flexibility allows it to pivot faster than any route. Another reason the U.S. maintains dominance is innovation. The country invests billions into scientific research through universities, the military, and private companies. Innovations like GPS, the internet, stealth aircraft, and AI began as military projects before transforming civilian life. Through continuous innovation, the U.S. creates technologies that shape future industries, controlling the next era before others catch up. And this strategy works because America invests not only in weapons and borders, but in ideas. Its universities attract the brightest minds, turning global intellect into American strength. Students come for education and stay, to build the technologies that fuel U.S. superiority. Ultimately, the secret is not a single trinket, is a system. A system built on dollar dominance, military reach, strategic alliances, intelligence networks, cultural influence, tech leadership, and adaptive diplomacy. The United States does not rule the world. It guides it, pressures it, inspires it, and when necessary controls it. This multi-layered strategy ensures that even as rivals rise, America remains 2 steps ahead. In Part 3, we will explore how this complex machine adapts to new challenges from China, Russia, and emerging powers, and whether U.S. dominance will endure. Stay connected as we uncover the next chapter of global power.